conspiracy.
Wow. Is that true? Wow. So Elon says that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. What the hell is going on between Trump and Elon? Everyone predicted that it would be in such dramatic fashion. Of course they're going to take to their little social media pages and call each other bad names. God, I love the free market. So like, this is kind of funny. He's like, remember this, Donald Trump? And he tags him, and it's the video of the Tesla infomercial on the White House lawn, that absurdity. Remember the finer days, Trump? Remember when we were in love? God, you used to glow. You used to glisten. Now look at you. Elon Musk claims that Donald Trump would not have won the presidency, of course, without Elon Musk, which I find funny because it's also very much true that that Wisconsin judge who Elon bankrolled for his campaign lost his election because of Elon Musk's influence. So which one is it? You know, is he a bad name for politics, or is he a good name? And I find it funny also that Elon is retweeting tweets from the real Donald Trump that are over 10 years ago, talking about how Donald Trump is a Republican. He's ashamed that the Republicans are raising the debt ceiling, and obviously Elon is upset that this new big beautiful bill that Trump is implementing and passing through Congress is going to raise the debt ceiling by what he claims is $2.5 trillion. Of course, big talking point for the richest investors in the world is the national debt and just how large it's gotten. This is always the whipping boy of every capitalist argument against the government, is how big the national debt is. Of course, they never want to explain how that mechanism works and how they uniquely benefit off of the growing national debt, and it's really rich investors and shareholders like Elon Musk who the nation is indebted to, and that's because they write the tax code, and they write it in such a way that makes sure that their profits, like I said, are protected from public domain. It's always the rich that get away scot-free, and the government still needs to create revenue. How is it going to do that? Well, I guess we could borrow the money instead of taxing the rich, so they borrow it from the richest 1% instead of taxing them, and they must pay these rich investors and financial institutions back with interest. It's an abomination, that whole setup, and I love that Elon Musk wants to pearl clutch about it when he's the greatest benefactor in the cause of it, almost single-handedly. Obviously, when I say him, I mean him and representatives of his class. It's a class war. It's not just him. It's a nexus of concentration of wealth and power. You can also say that Elon Musk is sort of like he's like gone rogue. He's like what Israel claims the rest of the world is gone. Elon's gone rogue. Well, why is he not following the capitalist script? I mean, he does, but I mean, that's because of his ego, though. I don't think it's in the service of the working class, of course. And you know what's really funny is that his most recent tweet, and let's see, it's his pinned tweet right now. It was one hour ago. He says, "Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle?" And I love that he's so disenchanted by the Republican Party. He doesn't already know that there is a third political party. It's the very one that he's ideologically tied to undermining. It's called the Green Party. Like, what do you think? What is this brain rot, Elon Musk? 80% in the middle. Yeah, you're gonna say, as the richest person in the world, that you're gonna start a new political party and you're gonna represent the 80% in the middle. Well, you know what those 80% are gonna come for? They're gonna come for your money if you give them political agency. So do you really think that that's a wise move if you're Elon Musk? No, which is why you wouldn't go and endorse the Green Party or something like that, because Elon knows it's a bad investment. So let's start a third political party. He just won the presidency. He just made the biggest donation to the president and was essentially appointed vice chancellor. So I don't get it. It's like saying he hates both the poorest 10% and the rich. It's probably true, though. I mean, I would argue you could widen that, but he does hate the poor, of course, and the poorest, of course. And it seems like he hates the rich. So just another day in Absurdville. Wipe the debt. You only owe it to the banks and the yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing, is they can print more money. Every other country on the face of the earth has to convert their currency into US dollars. We can just print US dollars. The debt is really not a talking point. It's not the problem. It's a boogeyman. It's a scapegoat. Because all the United States has to do is just, we have this unique power that we can just print money. It's called the dollar supremacy. Let's read some more. Oh, so see, here's Donald Trump. Now they can't do this privately. Of course not. They're attention whores. Donald Trump has responded and says, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy. The drugs, man. The drugs will do it to you. Is that really a tweet from his, I guess that's from Truth Social. Let's see, what else? Not even in Congress who had to vote on the big ugly spending bill. He calls it the big ugly spending bill. God, these guys are 5-year-olds. They're the same person person. They're just the same person. Elon responds, well, I was telling people to cut the EV mandate back in 2021. So yeah, nothing nonstop in the past few hours, just all about his unrequited love from Donald Trump. He's the jilted lover, Elon Musk. Let's see what he said here.
And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
So Elon says, without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. Oh, gosh. He's the eternal victim, isn't he? We haven't given Elon Musk enough gratitude. Donald Trump, how dare you?
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now?
Yeah, how does that look upon you? You went and went to bat for this guy. You went and sold his cars on the White House lawn. Let's go back and read.
He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people...
So he says, false, this bill has never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. Well, that's true of every bill, Elon Musk. That's how bills get passed, son.
Not take him seriously about spending now? You say this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard and he did a good job.
This is all just a spectacle.
And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office. And he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this when I was telling the Chancellor, this is where it is. People come in here, even from Germany. They come
This is so hilarious. He's like, just wants my job.
and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's World War I. It started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things.
And by God, World War III. I'm going to make sure of that, says Donald Trump.
Everything big comes right from this space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room. And I'll tell you, it's not first. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly. And some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is.
Look, I loved your presidency so much, Donald Trump. I'm hostile and toxic towards you now.
Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. But
I mean, it doesn't look, this is not a win for Elon to do this. It looks very weak, don't you think?
We have it.
It looks weak on both of them.
With others too. They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone. The whole world is different and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know.
We've been watching President Trump in the Oval Office with the German Chancellor, and a lot to get to here. But the most interesting and perhaps important issue, political issue and policy issue, is what President Trump said about his now former friend, at least it's...
I love that the media is framing, this is the most important news of the day. And I know that's the first thing that I'm covering too, but we know that this is a distraction, right? This is all just spectacle. This is to get you to watch the news and laugh. But we know the most important thing happening right now is the genocide in the Gaza Strip. I always wake up and wonder, how many people have died since I was sleeping?
Man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him. Not with a lot of enjoyment, but that's okay.
I know, just think about it. Just 6 months ago, he was jumping on stage with Donald Trump, just like a little schoolboy. Now look at him. He's a 5-year-old. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. Oh, look, he even sounds like Trump in his tweets. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there's never been legislation that both big and beautiful keep the good, remove the bad. Let's just watch this.
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible.
Yeah, right.
It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut, you would say.
Yeah, tax cut is a gift from the public to the corporate class, okay? A tax cut is a government subsidy to the rich. He says tax cuts, but he's not telling you for who. It's not tax cuts for you. Tax cuts for the richest corporations in the United States.
People's taxes will go way down.
Yeah, whose people? Who are these people? Are the people in the room with us? Actually, yes, they are, because it's all the richest people.
It's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that.
When you cut taxes for the rich, you increase the burden on the poor. The government still has to come up with the revenue, but they just have to find it somewhere else. He is an agent in class war. He is an agent of corporate America, of the business class, the business uniparty that governs our political establishment. You cannot separate any concept, idea, or object from its class. So take that into account when you're listening to the President of the United States speaking. He is speaking on behalf of a separate class, and not only is it a separate class, but that class is directly tied to and mandated to undermine and antagonize your class. That's the only reason that gives it life. The only reason it's in existence is to antagonize you and undermine and exploit you.
That are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it.
He can't tell you one damn thing. He can just talk very vague about it because there is nothing that he's doing.
And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay.
Well, Elon responded on Twitter and said, "Nuh-uh, because I've been saying we should cut the EV mandate back in 2021 before you were president, Donald Trump."
Billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning, Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that it disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. Sure, he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat, and I say,
wow, is that true? Wow. So Elon says that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This just gets more heated. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. I don't think it's too much of a surprise. The Epstein files. That Donald Trump is. I mean, we've seen so many pictures of them being so chummy and so friendly. Of course. But this is funny though. Time to drop the really big bomb, he says. Yeah, the really big bomb today is that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. It has nothing to do with the bombs being dropped on Gaza. Those aren't really big bombs. Congress is spending America into bankruptcy, says Elon Musk about an hour ago. Yeah, who are they spending money to? Who are they giving this money to? They give trillions of dollars to the banks. People like Elon Musk. What a clown show. And you know what? I was just thinking that what that reminds me of. He doesn't care. He never cared about Epstein or what's good, what's right or what's wrong. He's only after Trump now. He's only willing to spill the beans and be at odds because Trump. Yeah, because he opposes what Trump is doing. He opposes the big beautiful bill, which Elon Musk calls the really ugly big spending bill. Musk 2028, fellas. Okay, it's coming. No, it can't be because he's South African. He's born in South Africa. He wasn't born in America. Unless, who knows? They'll rewrite the laws. I mean, there is no commitment to principle or any moral code here. I mean, let's be real. But isn't that interesting that now suddenly it's a problem for Elon Musk that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, that he might be a despicable person? Yeah, all that cultural shit doesn't really matter when it comes to dollars and cents, right? As long as them two were making money and aligned with each other's ideas, then it doesn't matter. They could be doing anything. They could be shaking hands with Satan himself, which they do. Which they did. So he's just trying to weaponize this information now because he feels personally offended by Donald Trump. Elon Musk really thinks he's doing political damage to Trump. He's like, notice me. If I can't get positive encouragement, I'm going to get negative attention. Updated 6 minutes ago, Trump threatens to cut Musk's government contracts as online feud escalates. Here's the latest. The unlikely alliance of two mercurial billionaires deteriorated in remarkably swift and public fashion over the course of a few hours on Thursday as Elon Musk and President Trump sniped at each other from their own social media platforms, escalating their feud with incendiary attacks over matters significant and petty. This is the world that capitalism has created. A bunch of 5-year-olds owning public platforms and, having a public meltdown with all paid for by our tax money. Perfect. What could go wrong? What started as simply a fight over Mr. Trump's domestic policy bill mushroomed. Ooh, mushrooms. And to who deserved more credit for Mr. Trump's election victory? Why Mr. Musk did not cover up his black eye with makeup during an Oval Office appearance last week, and Mr. Trump's abrupt drop in support for a Musk associate nominated to lead NASA. It just reminds me this is all a spectacle. It's all fodder. It's all misdirection. It's all a distraction. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just talk about this. Said that. President Trump on Thursday threatened to cut Elon Musk's government contracts as their fractured alliance rapidly escalated into a public feud, with Trump suggesting he would use the U.S. government to hurt his fellow billionaire financially. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Yes, Trump. Ooh, I love it when Trump is unironically correct. Yes. Thank you for, see, sometimes they let you in on their little secrets. Sometimes they actually say the quiet part out loud. Here it is. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, Trump wrote on his social media network. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Well, we're not surprised because, Mr. President, unlike you, we understand that the government is owned by a corporate duopoly. Apparently that escapes you. This just gets better and better, Musk quickly replied on X. Go ahead. Make my day. Oh my God. This is such a little schoolyard fight at the playground. Two kids. Two narcissistic little dweebs. The deepening rift unfurled much like their relationship started, rapidly, intensely, and very publicly, in a passionate kiss.